People that own a vehicle are often very familiar with the number of costs and expenses that are frequently incurred throughout the ownership process. These are all commonly attributed to being required to be paid for throughout the process of being assured that successful and safe ownership is made possible with the vehicle is in the possession of the owner. Anyone faced with this need should know the process of choosing a great insurance policy to protect their vehicle and themselves from any liability. Car insurance is a type of policy protection plan that is maintained throughout the life of the vehicle. The French call this type of policy assurance auto, as it is known to be utilized in order to make sure that any damages or issues attributed to specific incidents are able to be covered whenever it is needed. This is known to one of the more long-term and significant investments that any car owner could make throughout the ownership process. People attempting to make this purchase often find that there are an incredible number of policy options available. These options are commonly faced when trying to make sure that all aspects of the vehicle are successfully covered and maintained at all times. Drivers that know what to look for are usually able to make sure their vehicle is kept as safe and protected as possible at all times. Drivers should first make sure they receive their coverage from a successful and reputable company. The actual company offering the coverage should have a successful reputation and viable options base whenever it is under consideration. This becomes the foundation by which successful coverage is able to be purchased. Receiving as many quotes as possible should also be considered within this process. Drivers today are known to shop around as much as possible in order to make sure they always find a great deal on the coverage they need. This becomes the root of being confident that great pricing is a viable option for anyone interested. The coverage that is ultimately being decided upon should provide the necessary and desired amount of protection that is sought after. Most policies are offered with specific limits and categories and coverage that are utilized throughout the ownership process. These coverage amounts are typically associated with specific premiums amounts which should be looked for when making a choice. The legal requirements that are placed upon the driver should also be closely considered. There are usually several legal requirements that are placed upon drivers in the specific categories and amounts of coverage they must have. These are often built directly into the quote that is received but should still be thoroughly reviewed within the policy. Car insurance should only be chosen if there is no down payment that is required of the driver. Most forms of coverage are attributed to only requiring the driver to make the initial payment in order to begin the coverage process. Down payments can often be costly and should be effectively avoided at all times. Share this video and subscribe for more interesting auto insurance tips.